Here at Boykin Springs, Charlie and Jillian took us up the hiking trails into the old sawmill. It's time to set up camp and see what tomorrow has in store.
Usually something that makes a good piece of firewood is dry wood that isn't rotten. If it's rotten, it'll burn a lot faster and not as and it won't light as easily. But you can see that this whole area was burned for management purposes to clear out the understory. So there isn't much wood that we can use right now. There is some though, for sure. Rotten stuff though. No, can't use that.
Charlie's in the middle of the woods. He just called out to us. I think he might be in trouble. Charlie! Charlie! Charlie, what's wrong? Charlie! What is it?
This is cool. I think this is really neat. So they burned this area probably within the past week or so, but this tree had just fallen over from over there, and it was, after the fire was out, it was still going. It was still smoldering, and so over the past few days, it's burned the entire length of this log.
Basically what we're going to do is make some really nice beef stew.
White gas on me. Luckily, white gas. Alright, cool. So this is white gas. This is what we're going to be using to cook our food. We have a little pump system here, and all this is going to do is go straight into here and screw on. Nice and tight, and then we'll start to just pump.
You might want to do it fast so you don't get stuff on you.
It's like leaking out.
It's alright. While we were pumping this up, it sprung a little leak. It could potentially explode.
Were you scared when it started leaking?
Not really.
This is called a dragonfly. It is a type of backpacking stove. So we'll put this little nozzle in here. This little tab flips over the top and then just clips onto the back here. And then gotta let the fuel burn down and try to catch it when it's just a really small flame.
Right now what we're going to do is we're going to saute these onions, and we're just going to wait for both of the dragonflies to...
What do I do now?
Charlie, your assistance is needed.
There are some dangers. You could burn yourself potentially. There it is.
Sauces.
We want it to roar like that in a blue flame. And so once it's once it's burning blue, we want to put this heat shield around it so that what? Oh shit!
We're actually going to make 2 pots of these. Just kind of making sure that everything has, you know, an opportunity to get sauteed.
You can turn that
It's
up.
already smelling good.
Turn it to the left. So right now I'm making what is called a lean-to, because it kind of leans on a log. They're pretty decent fires. There's a bunch of different kinds. You can make a log cabin, which makes a really wide fire, and it's exactly how you think it would sound. Think it would be. It's like 2 logs. There's a little lizard. We've got a few parts here. We have a rain fly, which we won't need tonight. We got the tent here. You always want to check for those ants. They'll find ways into your tent that you didn't even know that were there. It's real simple. We have 2 poles here and 10 stakes. We won't need all of the stakes. The poles are just kind of slipped together, real easy. There is a little hole for a peg, which you will stick the little tent peg here in. So, boop, just like that. And you'll jump over to the other side and do the same thing. Do you want the rain fly on or not?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Okay, if it does. Rain flies a little droop over. Takes the rain.
All right. Now that we've got both in,
Takes care of me.
find the very top of it, and it'll have this little clip here. You'll clip it onto the pole that's on top of both of them, and then all you have to do is just clip all the way down each side of the tent.
Right now, I'm just kind of preparing the meat. Since they're split into 2, I'm going to do this separately. So the other meat packets there, we're going to use 1 meat packet per pan, since we're making 2. And so it should be kind of good. Basically, it's 2 a pan, so we should have more than enough to eat tonight. Right now I'm kind of moving the onions out of the way to give the meat a chance to cook. Some of the onions charred. Okay. Go ahead and move the onions out of the way of that one too. Right now I'm going to cut the potatoes, get those ready. And I don't know about you guys, but I kind of like the skin on mine.
That's fine with me.
But we do need to wash them because we haven't washed these.
Where's barley?
It's right there.
Right in front of you, dude.
Charlie, if you want to do something, you can cut another potato.
Ew, why'd you put that one in there?
Protein. All right. No, not this one, the new one.
Yeah. This potato's in my way.
These barley leaves have a ton of flavor in them.
How do you know?
Because I've eaten one before. And they pack a big punch, especially when you add water. Now, clamp onto here so it doesn't move. This actually looks like this might be ready too. Waiting. This is finally here.
Jeez, dude.
Alright, so basically, this is the aftermath of what happened yesterday. We were just minding our own businesses. I was in my tent asleep. Charlie was in the hammock, and little drizzles happened. And then all of a sudden the sky just fell. And so everything is soaked. Luckily we had this wonderful rain fly on that protect us from the rain. Can't say the same for the other tent. But the campsite's soaked. Yeah, Charlie, tell me about last night.
So I was in my hammock, and because it's nice to sleep in my hammock at night. And it was a clear night when I went to sleep. And we went to bed around 10:30, something like that. And woke up at like 2 in the morning to some sprinkles. And I was like, oh no, rain. And I said, screw it, I'm going to sleep in my hammock anyway. It's only sprinkling. And then I woke up like a little while later, and it was pouring. I was like, oh crap, I got to get into a tent. And so I jumped out of my hammock, grabbed my stuff, and I ran over to that tent. And I realized, oh wait, there's no rain fly. And I didn't know what to do, so I was running around in circles trying to figure out where I was going to go. And I remembered, oh wait, I have a car. So I slept in my car, which is quite uncomfortable.
Alright, so this right here would be a lesson to anyone to, no matter what the situation is, always put your rain fly on. Because this whole tent is soaked. All that's just extremely wet. And it's been sitting for about 3 hours now, and it's still not dry yet.
You know, whenever you make pancake mix, you're supposed to let it sit for like 5 minutes before you start cooking it.
Oh. Why?
It allows the baking powder in it to start reacting with the water, and it makes it more fluffy.
I'm gonna tear down this tent.
There's a bee.
Last night, these guys were skinning a deer, and the deer carcass is now gone. All the skin and everything. It's
And the head.
oh yeah, they chopped the head off too. So one of the dangers of filming out here is you get mosquito bites. And I guess I was recording during the time because I have a big, giant ass mosquito bite on my forehead, and it looks like I got hit by a golf ball. So, I don't know. It's one of the dangers. I also have one on my arm and foot, so it takes a lot of strength to do what we're doing.
You'll pull through, man.
Maybe. I might. It depends.
Okay, we were minding our business,
eating breakfast. We were eating pancakes and we made s'mores. And the bees decided to come out when we brought the syrup out.
Oh shit, a bee!
And then they started chasing us.
The bees are attacking again.
Ah!
And we were running away and it made it worse.
You guys, it's not like they're gonna eat you. They won't eat much.
Ah!
A life jacket in boats is not required to be worn, but but you do have to have one in the canoe at all times. You want to make sure that your paddle fits you properly. You want to flip it upside down and take a knee, and then the bottom of the or the top rather of the paddle right here should be in between your nose and chin. This one's a little small for me, but that's all right. Then to hold your paddle, you never want to hold it like this, because if you paddle like this and you bring it back up, you might be missing a few teeth after that day. So you want to keep your hand up here on the T-bar and your hand down here. You can position your hand wherever it feels comfortable. And so your first stroke, your basic stroke is just going to be, you bring the paddle forward, put it in the water, and then you pull the paddle back with your arms and kind of scoop the water back, and you'll bring the paddle out of the water, kind of cut it through the air, and then put it back in the water and repeat.
It's like massive algae. That's just warm.
This is a great trip for me. I always like to take people out to experience something firsthand.
And it helped me not to think about school so much and what homework I had to do and stuff.
This has really benefited all of us to be out here away from our classes and just to relax and get rid of some stress that we had pent up for a while.
My favorite moment was cooking and sleeping in the tent while it was pouring down rain.
I also really liked paddling on the lake here. It was really fun. It was really quiet. There was some interesting stuff that you could see through the water. It was just a lot of fun.
There's something out here for everybody. Whether you're one to dive right in or observe from afar, places like Boykin Springs are the place to be. So go ahead, put on those hiking shoes, pack up some snacks, and let's go outside.